Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin and today I wanted to make a video just quickly talking about some ways to save money like fast if you are really short of money and you feel like there are impending payments coming and you just feel like you need to rein things in. And I feel like I need to tighten things up at the minute too, and yeah, like I just have a few tips that I like to use myself whenever I'm trying to be really careful, and just that I have noticed in the past that like quickly make the numbers in my account go up. So the first thing, which is like stating the obvious really, is to stop shopping. But by this I mean like don't kind of tempt fate by going into shops, and don't go online. Just like create a blanket ban where you're not allowed to go on and look. If you do need a particular item, make it a strict like rule. You have to be in and out in 2 minutes and you're only allowed to grab that one item. I just think that if you allow yourself to look, it just fills your brain with ideas and then you end up fantasizing about them and you feel tempted to go back and get stuff, and it just creates like a whole like array of problems that you wouldn't have if you hadn't looked in the first place. And also focusing on the figures and getting realistic about the actual numbers in your bank account, because I think you can kind of get into this mindset of feeling like you don't have money, and that almost like that sort of poverty mindset almost creates more problems with money, and it's just like a vicious cycle. But I think if you go through everything and kind of itemize everything in your account, and I like to physically write it down, you can check what you actually have going in and out and how much extra there might be after that. And I have a separate account that's just for bills, so I put the money for bills into that. I don't touch that unless I'm withdrawing the exact amount, because I know a bill is coming. Then that means that my other accounts, any money that is sitting in them, I know it's either for. One is like I use for things like groceries and petrol and like just daily kind of expenses that crop up, and the other one is for just extra money for if we want to do something unexpected, or if I have to like make a payment for the girls for something that I'm just not really expecting, or I don't know the exact date it's going to come up. Sorry if I sound a bit croaky, I've been sick this week and my kids have too, and I think we're all getting over it now, but I still have that like croaky voice. So yeah, another thing that has really helped me over the years is to always bring food and drinks with you if you're going out, or if you're not going far from home, don't make excuses to stay out to eat and drink. Like just go home and have something there instead. It might not sound as appealing, but once you do it, I think when you realize, like when you get home and you've, like today for example, I took the kids to a little like mini golf thing that's near our house, and it was really fun. And then it was like around lunchtime when we finished, and I sort of thought it would be easy to just pop in to the neighbouring cafe and get something to eat quickly because it's not too expensive there. But I decided no, I was going to go home. I made the girls like toasties, which they love, and there was leftover pizza from Friday, so I just heated it in the oven and it tasted like the same. And then I realised like this took like 5 minutes, but I've probably saved myself like 20 or 30 quid, and that all adds up. As I've mentioned before, I think it's important to have absorbing hobbies that cost very little. Like once you've kind of paid the setup costs to get whatever materials you might need to start, then you can just work on it at home or just wherever you do it. But I think it's important to have things that cost very little, that take up a lot of your time and you're really kind of engrossed in them, so you're not even thinking about spending and your mind doesn't have time to wander and think about all the possibilities of what could I spend on. Another thing I was thinking was make treats an actual treat, because a treat is a treat because it's rare, or it's supposed to be. And I think like in the past a treat was something really special, and the reason why it felt so good was because there's like a build up to it, you're waiting for it, you're fantasizing about it, and then it finally arrives and it's like, oh, it was worth the wait. But now I think that there's just constant treats and a like constant reward like system, but we haven't really done anything to like deserve it in a way. Not that I am against having treats, like because I definitely could cut back on things like the number of sweets that I have. There's always room for improvement, but like I think I kind of fell into this trap ages ago with my kids where on the school run I was seeing all the other parents were like automatically taking their kids to the ice cream shop next door to the school, which just feels like too convenient, and I'm sure that that shop is kind of strategically placed there and they get loads of custom because of that. But we were going like all the time and it wasn't a treat anymore, and it got to the point where I realised it was taking up a lot of my money, more than it should, for ice cream. Like if you looked at the monthly like amount that was being spent on it. And also I wasn't really enjoying going as much anymore because it just became like a daily habit, like something that becomes part of every day, and then it's not special anymore. So I think it's important to keep treats so they're actually treats. I try to keep a clear picture in my head of what I'm saving for. I think you have to have some sort of savings goal in mind, even if it's something small, just to give you the motivation to keep going and to be able to have a mental picture of it in your head for whenever you feel tempted to break your budget or buy something that you haven't planned for. Think of it as money you're taking away from the thing that you're so like looking forward to doing or having, and just kind of keep that little picture as like a precious thing that you can hold on to in your head to divert your thoughts away from like impulse spending. Like that's why I really like to have a holiday booked, even if it's like a local one and it's maybe a couple of months away and it's just like an Airbnb here and there are no travel costs really apart from just petrol, but it gives me something to work towards and to dream about, and I love having stuff to daydream about and look forward to, and to have experiences over stuff, so that kind of prevents me overspending in other areas, because I just think if I spend that money on clothes I hadn't planned to buy, for example, that leaves us with less money to spend when we're away on things that we might like to do as a family. Yeah, and I think that you can also use the having a savings goal in mind as incentive to help you save extra if you have the means to do that. Like, for example, you can say, my savings goal is that I want to go on holiday this summer, and then on top of that you put away like an extra few pounds each time you put money towards your goal, so that you then are developing savings just for the sake of having savings for security, and you're motivated by the goal, if that makes sense. So you're kind of putting away extra. You can kind of convince your mind that you're only allowed the goal or the reward that you have in mind if you put away whatever small amount extra regularly towards just like saving for emergencies and things like that. And I have found too that in the past I have used like a spending tracker, and I've put it on my phone, and then you can literally just put in each expense as you pay for it, and it's scary how quickly you can lose track, especially when you're just tapping your card. It doesn't feel like real money, but I find if you have to sit and write in the exact amounts after every purchase that you make, it kind of puts you off making as many, and it shows you overall how much it adds up to. Because that's the thing, like you can think, oh, I only spent like £5 here. But if you add up all those £5 over the course of a month or a year, it's scary how much it builds up to. And yeah, the final tip that I have that I think helps more than anything else is to think of yourself as already having lots of money. And I am really into manifestation, and I know a lot of people might not be, but I do kind of believe that whatever you tell yourself repeatedly becomes true for you. And I think, like, based on experience, anytime that I have worried a lot about money and told myself I don't have enough and how am I going to pay this bill, and just constantly fretting about it, more and more payments crop up. But during times when I'm like, I'm fine, I always have enough money to cover everything that I need. I always have like more than enough money for everything. And just keep telling yourself things like, I don't have to worry about money, my bank account is always really full. And even just like playing pretend in that way in your head, it's a comfort to you. And then I do find that when I do that, I will get random payments like to me from places that I didn't even expect to get them from. And all of the money worries, the cause for them kind of just dissolve away. So that is something that I would really recommend if you feel worried about money, or you're like feeling like you never have enough and you're always like stressing about how you're going to pay your bills on time, is just try as much as you can to like change your mindset on money, and to, even if you don't feel it, just sort of say it to yourself anyway. Because like I think that having kind of like faith that you always have what you need, it means that you kind of do always attract everything that you need. I hope these tips are helpful to somebody, and yeah, thank you for watching, and I will make another video very soon. I'm sorry I haven't been making as many recently, just with like sickness and the kids being off school and just like a million different things happening. It's been really busy, but yeah, I look forward to catching up with you more very soon. And yeah, have a great week, and don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you soon. Bye.